Hi, everyone, and welcome to Omni Edition Garden City. I am Dan York. As you can tell, Cathy Harman is with us. She is the fire chief for the city of Garden City as we continue to explore the services that the city of Garden City offers during the coronavirus crisis, during the COVID 19 pandemic. And Chief Harman, obviously, this has changed everything that the fire department does and how the fire department operates.
Yes, it sure has.
Give us some examples of what is different now when you go out on a run or what you have to do differently, because obviously you have to take maybe more precautions than anybody when going out on an EMS run or interacting with the public.
Yes, it's changed considerably, even from reporting for duty and when the guys are exiting. So when they report to duty, we have a station here where they have to come in, they have to take their temperature. There's a series of questions that they have to answer yes or no to and sign it. That process is repeated again mid shift and then leaving. So is a shift's coming on, they're doing checks. As a shift's going off, they're doing the same checks. We're decontaminating our station at least 3 times a day, and then the trucks just about every run get. We've always done that, but with the type of disease that we're dealing with now, this virus, we're having to take a lot more aggressive steps to decontaminate our trucks, often having to stay out of service. Now, when we get a call, our dispatchers are pre-screening. They're asking them a series of questions, and they'll give us a little direction. It's gotten to the point, honestly, where we're almost treating every run as if it were a COVID run, and we're gearing up. So behind me, what I have are just some examples. If we get a known COVID patient, let me stand this way. Firefighter Castleberry, would you come up here, please? This is a fully encapsulated suit. This is a Tyvek suit. This can be decontaminated. He's also wearing a full respirator, fully encapsulated goggles. And then if you can see his feet, all the guys are wearing booties now to protect so that we're not transferring anything from the scenes or not. So if we get a known COVID, we're probably going to show up like this. And the driver will be probably looking similar because he is also going to be providing some kind of treatment. Okay, go ahead and step back. Next guy is Gavin Gismondi. This might be on one where they say, hey, use universal precautions. We have a few different versions, but this is what we got from the National Strategic Stockpile, this plastic gown. So they're going to wear the plastic gown to protect their uniforms, gloves, encapsulated goggles. That's an N95 mask that he's also wearing. And then he'll have the same type of shoe coverings out over his shoes. When they get back, a lot of times what my guys are doing is they take those booties off or their shoes off, and we're wearing an alternate footwear while we're in the station so that we don't have to worry about transferring anything to or from the hospital, to or from the homes, because there's still a couple places in the building that has carpeting. In addition to that, we also have a machine that we're utilizing throughout the station to help us kill the COVID virus, but you can't be in the room when it's operating. We're also using them on the trucks, and then just to take an extra step. Backing up again to going on a run, if we get, universal precautions or it just doesn't sound right, you're going to see the officer in charge. This come up this way, Lieutenant Turch, and he's going to be wearing another level. These are EMS coats, so they, I have the DOT compliance. He's wearing a face shield in addition to an N95 goggles, and then he's going to wear his boots and booties. But typically, what happens is we're going to show up like this. We're doing it to just about every run. But one of the guys that are fully dressed is going to make contact with the patient, ask a series of questions, take a temperature, and then make the determination whether he needs to upgrade his level of protection or he can proceed. He'll be fine to treat the patient. But what happens is if the captain and the medic are both in the back, when he gets out of the truck, he's got to take everything off, sanitize his hands, drive to the hospital. And then when he gets to the hospital, before he encounters the patient again or enters the hospital, we're doing the same thing. He's putting his gear back on, his gloves on, so that he doesn't pick up anything in the ER. A lot of times we're completely disassembling our stretcher, which is basically pulling the handles off and the cushion, and we're spraying it down with a bleach solution. Then you let it air dry, and then we repeat the process inside the truck. So that's about it. Just wanted people to know that, this is how we are responding to protect the guys, to keep us healthy. We've had several people that we deemed were possible COVID positive, but we've yet to receive anything official. So we've had a few guys in quarantine. We were provided with a large Windstar trailer so that guys can stay there. There's certain people, some houses we don't have separate restroom facilities or separate floors they can stay on, and they're not wanting to interact with their family until such time that we either get their negative or they make a 14-day span where they're asymptomatic.
So just to clarify, no one on the Garden City Fire Department has been diagnosed with COVID or coronavirus. You've just been they've possibly been exposed to it.
Yes, yes. I would say just about everybody here has been exposed to some type of COVID, either direct patient contact or at the hospital, because we're not getting the updates. But I have a whole list of possible exposures just so that I can protect the guys at a future date, or if down the road, they contract the COVID, even though it's presumptive, they catch it from the job. We're keeping our own running track of where we're going and the type of symptoms that are consistent with the disease, so that we have some documentation.
How long have you been taking all of these precautions?
Probably 2.5 weeks. We were getting on it right away. We've got several hazmat guys that have been on the teams. We have prior military people here. I served on the HEMS board. Captain Marikovich is on the HEMS board with Lieutenant Ray. Captain LaPerriere and Lieutenant Keene have done a lot of things to get us some additional equipment. We've been searching all over, and as you know, things dried up rather quickly. We try to practice social distancing in the station, but it's kind of hard because you jump in the truck, you're 3 feet from the guy. We also sleep in an open dorm, which puts us within 3 feet of each other. So we had to get the proper HEPA filtration system in. It's a portable unit, but we had to do that to protect the guys because they're in there. Some guys may wear a CPAP, but trying to wear that and sleep all night, it's just not going to work. One guy made his own screen up too, but we've been trying to find screens to separate between the beds for another added level of protection. We have a new UV decontamination unit so that if these get contaminated, they can take them off and we can reuse them. They said the same for the N95s. Not too crazy about that idea, but if it got to where we had none, because we have nurse friends that they get issued one at the beginning of their shift and that's it, or for days. So Mike, if you want to go take that off when you pass out.
I'm fine. It's just steaming up.
So obviously you didn't have all of this equipment and all of this gear when this started. So as you said, it's been hard for you to obtain some of this stuff because there's just a shortage.
Yeah, we've always had N95s because we have to worry about the airborne pathogens because of like tuberculosis. We've had some sort of eye protection because we intubate. They may be a combination of a surgical mesh in addition to a shield, so that if they, are intubating, but not to the quantities that we're having to utilize them now.
Sure, absolutely. And one of the things that the city has been working towards is some sort of different sleeping arrangement for the firefighters so that they're not all in one room together, that there's kind of a pod set up. But obviously that's a financial component that the city has to work through.
Yeah, this is probably one of the most outdated stations. And it was built in the 60s and the addition was built in the 70s. So it is still an open dorm. I slept in an open dorm in the Detroit Fire Department and when I was in the military and then here. But so I was kind of used to it. But with the, changing and more people coming, hopefully as more females enter the fire service, and men like privacy too. So the grant money came through, or the money from the state through Representative Jewel Jones, through the assistance of Mr. Preston, and I believe Betty Jean Alexander's office and Congresswoman Tlaib to go ahead and do this addition. They'll be provided pods, individual, separated, so that they can get some adequate rest when they have the opportunity to.
But that's all been suspended now from the state because of their budget restrictions because of everything that's happened.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, unfortunately, but
I don't know when that might happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Cathy, I want to thank you very much for taking time to talk to us. It was very, very informative. My thanks to the firemen who participated, and my thanks to Captain Randy Keene, who was your cameraman for this. We're trying to practice some social distancing with me staying at home. you folks at the fire department, and our producer director, Christian Gibbons, back in the studio at Garden City City Hall. We also want to thank Eli Wasson for helping us back at Garden City City Hall with this production. We remind you that Garden City City Hall is still closed to the public, as are all Garden City public buildings. The employees come in Monday through Thursday on staggered shifts, try to minimize everybody's contact. City hours are normally 9 to 5. That remains the same, but it's Monday through Thursday, not Monday through Friday. You can deal with the city by phone. You can deal with the city over the internet. Don't forget, there's the big purple box, the drop box that is on the north side of Garden City City Hall for you to drop off things like water bills, tax payments, which aren't due right now, or other assorted items that you need to get to the city. Also, with water bills, you can pay them online, but there is a nominal fee. You can sign up to have it auto deducted from your checking account on a regular basis. But if you need to pay cash, wait until this is over. The city is not charging any late fees. The city is not charging any penalties. Wait till the crisis is over. Wait until City Hall is open normally, and then you can make those payments. So for right now, there are no penalties or fees for late payments on water bills. Also, not many folks have received them yet, but you should be receiving very soon a letter and a package from the state. This is the application to vote absentee for the May 5th election. The city is not sending these out. The state had promised they would be sent out about 10 days ago. To our knowledge, they have been sent out, but they have not begun to be received by residents. If you care to vote in the May 5th election, you send the absentee application back and you will receive an absentee ballot. There will be no precincts open on election day except for a small precinct at City Hall that is specifically for folks that need an ADA compliant machine or have had trouble with the absentee ballot process. We strongly encourage everyone to vote absentee in the May 5th election, and that is for a Garden City Public School bond issue, which there's information about that on the city's website and on the city's YouTube channel at GCTV HD. Again, thank you very much to everybody involved in putting this together today. We remind you, please stay home, stay safe, and we'll get through this together. I'm Dan York. Thanks for watching, and good night.